So I'm owner of my club, Grimsby Town, and the ride so far is a little bit rocky. Doing bad in the table, a new signing's not firing, and overall, it's a little bit messy. And I'm not talking this messy, I'm talking all over the place as our coach in charge, Pearson, isn't doing very well. So I've told him today, interviews start for the next manager of Grimsby Town. As yes people, welcome back to episode number 3 of the second season. This has come quickly, and it isn't even daily as these are the results. I'm not going to spoil everything as today it's local derby day and we're going to try and push on. We've got a lot to get through today, including what I just said, interviewing managers as this man Pearson, his time has come and we need to talk to someone else. As the first man we're interviewing, it's Troy Deeney in questionable attire, but we'll kinda let that slide. So Troy, here at Grimsby we're after a new manager. What do you think you can personally bring to the table? And he says brute strength. He will get the best out of these boys, play any way he can, and show his authority. Which I say is good, because we are playing counter-attacking. And what do you feel to that style of play? To which Troy says, I'm used to it, playing all my years at Watford, and I want to get the very best out of this Grimsby team. Okay, so we've heard him, and I want to hear you guys. All the interviewees we're having today have come from comments, which have either stood out or been multiple of. As you can see, there will be a poll on screen, which you can go vote on. As it's safe to say, I've had no luck with this side, really, apart from the promotion as a draw in the Bristol Street Motors. Get in there, Danny Rose. But as you saw briefly at the start, we are down here, 19th in the table. With the third most goals conceded, defence seems like our problem. We have scored 12 goals. We've started scoring them. With Stockport up next, who did get promoted with us, telling me this is a game we cannot pass up on. As yeah, they were automatically promoted alongside us here, and they hammered us 3-0. I remember Paddy Madden scoring. Hopefully he's too old now and not playing right here, or not good enough. As a free kick for Pasalic, we'll try chip it. It's a shot and a header away, so it might still fall back to us if it lets us play on, which it does seem to be doing. It is very good passing into Pasalic. No, that should have been a goal. As a very good start from the Mariners, and a long ball. That's back to Pasalic, who pulls it across, and David Washington, who I am saying the name right, gets another goal. Him and Pasalic, our highest rated, are linking up a little bit. Just need to do it more. But we still need to see the game out, as this is another ball across the field into Hamilton. As Hamilton, oh, he goes for it. Very unlucky, as no second half highlights. We have beaten Stockport by 1-0. Pasalic and Washington, that's the link up we need. A brilliant win. Get in there, Mariners. Such a good win, it seems like a few ratings creeping up and a fully fit team. Again, which is unusual. That's never the case as, oh, Sheffield Wednesday. A huge game up next. And I am buzzing for it. Here at Hillsborough. It's got to be one of the biggest stadiums, because when we did play Arsenal, unfortunately at home, or should I say fortunately, we still got beat 4 or 5-1 at home. It would have been bigger than that if we were away at, of course, the Emirates. As much like Barnsley, these will be up here this season, or come end of the season, as Hamilton, he's going for the early shot. As I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but their goalkeeper, when I had that shot then, looked very, very small. So we want to try and catch him out. Going over the top towards David Washington, which just didn't work out. And now they got a little breather. I mean, we've started very well here, but we usually do anyway. We just need a goal to see it off, and Washington's offside. Just going a little bit early, but surely they've done right there. A miss Oh, and that reminds me, our goalkeeper, who apparently touched that ball. I didn't think he did. Cameron Dawson did play for these before, as he's just made another good save. I knew this would happen. As soon as I said we were playing well, Doug Tharm, get rid of it. A little bit better than that, please. As we have Lallana taking it down into Doug Tharm. Lallana hooks it round the corner, and this is where we counter-attack. It's our bloody tactic, for goodness sake. As someone get in the box, it is Clinton Mola, the left-back, who is now coming into form, winning a corner, which isn't a bad thing. And we're going to take this short round the corner. Pasalic. That was poor, mate, as you have been stepping it up recently, and don't let them put that ball through. We've gone in for the tackle, and they're one-on-one with the keeper. Brilliant save, but they've got it over our heads, and another brilliant save. As it's an open game now, and our defense just standing off. Another save, which I believe will be the last before half-time. As yes, nothing coming from it. They've been very poor with their corners, but we dived in a little bit there. Defense still all over the shop, apart from Doug Tharm, who reads his man very well. And the referee, oh my days, thought she was pointing to the spot then. But no, waving play on, as that is a ball towards the back stick. As they've won a corner again. That came off them, surely, didn't it? As a header towards the back post. Smith to whack it clear, and Pasalic, just hold this up, mate. He's very terribly done it, because it could lead to a goal here. Brilliant step in from Matty Wolf, or Kieran Green, whoever it is. And Pasalic to escape a little bit, trying to be a little bit too smart. Sometimes we've just got to get rid of the ball, but the game is done. A 0-0 against a surely promotion-pushing Wednesday. Not bad at all. And extends our unbeaten run. As at this point, I'm thinking we could honestly just keep Pearson, but we are not going to do that, as it's Derby Day next. And as you can see, we've jumped a little bit above them as Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't know they were that low, but we've just got to get it out of his heads. We didn't manage to beat them, as one change for this game, Charles Vernon back on the wing. But we've got another interview. As this man's more well known for his time at Chelsea, we're even wearing blue in the interview, Damien Duff. Damien, I've seen your career in Ireland. You are definitely on the come up, doing very well with your team. What about relocating? As he says he'd be up for it. He's lived in London previously. He doesn't mind England. And he would come over. As style of play though, Damien, we do play counter-attacking, and your style, does that fit the philosophy? Which he says no, I would like to play positively, and if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. And I don't know if I like the sound of that. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. That sounds like he's setting us up for relegation, which I don't want to happen, as there is the preview, the biggest game in the calendar, Grimsby's Derby Day. As we've had some good results recently, it has to carry on here. I know we lost to them last year in the Mickey Mouse Cup, or sorry, Bristol Street Motors Trophy, or whatever they want to call it next. Let's get into this, and let's climb the league now, even before the new manager is Wolf. Look at that determination. He tries to cut back inside, and he's followed by Hamilton, who I've got to admit's a good player, and Freddie Draper, the striker, if he's still up front. Well in, Doug Tharm, big tackle. Just what we like to see. As long as they're not injured, we can put huge tackles in on players. As look at that run from Charlie Savage. We can't get a chance to use it, but there's a man at the back stick here. Pasalic tries to reach him. Oh, it's a save, and the goal is missed by Savage. Not to get ahead of myself again, but we are dominating here in the first 20 minutes as Smith needs someone to cross to Washington. He started making the run, stopped, and the cross was terrible anyway as Savage, ball back into the middle, which of course you love to see, as oh no, Smith stayed forward, and now Lincoln come to attack. Their first chance of the game, and Clinton Mola, you could literally see your man, and you didn't go across to mark him in the biggest game of our season. It's gonna happen again, isn't it? We're gonna get beat in a crucial game. Look at the ball. Look how free he was. Just go across to him. With literally 2 chances, it should be 2-0. We are embarrassing ourselves here with how much we've dominated, but not done. And that is why I'm changing it in the second half. Both wingers, John and Hamilton, to come on. A little bit of young guns and a bit of pace, as that wasn't a bad free kick. Still, let's get going straight away, shall we? Nathan John, make the run, as he does, the local lad against the local rivals. He tries to use the pace, shut down by Powdy O'Connor, the centre-back. But don't let them messes around here. Please get across someone. Another free shot. Don't make me change us to a 5 at the back formation, lads. I really don't want to do it. As now, this is where we counter. Again, Charlie Savage, whatever you do, don't lose the ball. Washington, that is a good ball. Onto Matty Wolf, the one getting forward. He has to try and cut inside of his man. Cut inside of his man again. It's Matty Wolf who's just scored one of the best goals I've ever seen in a derby day as well. Matty Wolf from local team Barnsley against our local team Lincoln. He has run it himself. And he's a defensive midfielder. Extraordinary work. And he only scores good goals. And yes, I'm also aware the goalie did get a glove on it. Oh, my days, we're struggling right here. To be fair, they were yanking us all around. On our t-shirt all the time as John. That's a good ball. Danny Rose is on the field right now. But John's the man to cut inside. Here he goes. Nathan John. It's out wide right there. And almost in the middle. It falls to Danny Rose, who's going to try and strike it. Didn't expect it to fall to him. And we just had a chance to nick it. But they had chances as well. As it's a draw against the rivals. Not the worst thing in the world. But it kind of doesn't help us because we go into some simulated games. Then again, we've got high-rated players, which should get us over the line. We've got actually 3 over 70. Yes, scrap what we've done so far. We should not actually be bottom half. As also, we should not be in this contract scenario. We've got Kieran Green, Malarkey, and Eastwood all expiring. If we could get each one of those on a less important squad role, they are good squad players to have. And of course, OG players. As I've gone and signed them up, I mean, Malarkey asked for important, but Muller's only 2 rated higher, and plus he didn't have a good game last time. Didn't mind doing that as Kieran Green, he took sporadic, and the other one, Eastwood, he's a goalkeeper, he's at the top. He took a rotational, very, very nice, but that rotational might be taken from him when Austin Smith comes back. A youngster out on loan, as we haven't checked these in a while, and Nathan Marriott, at wherever he is, 66 rated. He's better than John. On my days, he's better than Vernon and Hamilton. He's our best winger. Do I recall him? That's one for you guys to decide, as our next simulated game, Washington with a goal and a 1-1 draw with Plymouth. Wayne Rooney won't be happy with it as Crew, who just nicked automatic promotion away from us last year, get beat by us 2-1. Adam Lallana getting both goals as we're starting to climb the table. That is a draw against another good team. Championship Oxford, or in real life Championship Oxford, as in the Bristol Street Motors, a 1-1 draw. As it's not really a competition we care about anyway, as our third interviewee, David Wagner. So David, what makes you want to come to Grimsby, and what makes you sure you have the reputation to do so? He says, are you joking? I've been in the Champions League with young boys and also taken Huddersfield to the Premier League with a small budget. Ah, so you can use small budgets, you say? Could you do it with a big budget as well? If I invested in the club? He says, I only could do better than what I've already done with low money, so if you give me the job, I'll make sure to go for promotion. As he seems very promising, but again, it's what you guys think. You get the last say. And he was just sacked from Norwich, wasn't he? Can't be all that good, as we have got Wigan next, a struggling Wigan, who I do feel for in real life. And we've got a tired team, but hey, tiredness, fatigue, it catches up in a 46-game season, which we are playing more than really. With the Papa Johns, the FA Cup still to come into the mix. This is going to be a very long season, as we're starting to pick up form, and we've got a long ball across the field, straight into Washington, and the worst touch to mankind I believe I've ever seen. Terrible, and now it's back to defensive duties. Pasalic, I mean, he's not born to defend. Doug Tharm gets his tackle in, which didn't actually connect, but it was enough to put him off. Don't let them win the header. and let us have the counter-attack. But instead, a corner ball for Adam Lallana to swing in, looking for Clinton Mola, Doug Tharm. We've kept it alive right here. Not hit a hand, no? I mean, okay, I guess not. We've got it onto Charlie Savage. Now in the middle, a ball through onto Danny Rose, who hits it out of the stadium, or as good as out of the stadium, probably hitting a fan in the head as Danny Rose looking for another angle. He's lost the ball that time, and that's the end of the game. A 0-0 with Wigan. As I can't lie to you guys, it's getting difficult in the simulations as Shrewsbury next, who have our ex-manager. Paul Hurst is actually been in charge of the club twice. Can we beat a Paul Hurst side? It is another draw, which we are starting to get a little too many of. That's better. Washington and Paslick with the brace. As in simulations, he must be a man transformed. He's got 6 goals, 2 assists in 18, which isn't really cracking, is it? But for our situation, I guess it really is. He's improving the team. As I tell you what shows real improvement, beating Blackpool, but we don't do that, do we? We've managed to get beat. And I mean, it was coming at one point, wasn't it? As we reply instantly, 4-1 against Notts County, and a win in the FA Cup against Bristol Rovers. Some result that one as we move straight into Rotherham, and I believe we've got Washington up for Player of the Month. Not bad going. 11th in the league we are. We've got more wins now than defeats all year round. A positive goal difference, but a lot, and I mean a lot of draws. But if we beat Rotherham, we're pushing for playoffs. Got ourselves into a nice situation here. Manager hunting, players in, players performing, and climbing the table. Or not players climbing the table, but Grimsby Town. Of course, we're a community, we are a whole, and we are doing it for the badge. As let's do it for the badge here, because if we win this game, I just cannot believe it. We don't go straight into playoff positions, but we really do push near them as Pasalic keeping hold of the ball, and not anymore. I just don't get how he's so good in sims. Because out of them, he's just a little bit too much on the ball. He loses the ball too much. As there we go. Back to reality. Back to losing. When we get so close to the top, we're gonna get stuck in the middle. Can just tell. Started badly here still. Plenty of time to go and we're at home, but you know when you can just sense a really bad game? It feels like it right here. They've slipped past us again. Big save from Dawson. He's going to have to make more of those. Need to get this ball out. That looks a very simple clearance. It's nothing but a simple clearance. Messing around with the ball in the middle of our box and slammed into our top corner. Right. Okay. This is how it's going to be. I'm telling you, my hunch was right. My hunch was correct. It is 3 goals now. It's another straight after it. Embarrassment for the Mariners. We just need to get one back this half. It's Lallana trying his luck. The slowest player on the field, yet the quickest to react, as that is 4-0. If I could take them all off the field, I wouldn't even just walk them off. I'd pull them off by their hair and take the shirts off them. It's embarrassment, is this? And I kind of called it, which well, I won't say proud of, but I could just see it coming, as that's 5-0. That striker they've got, the number 9, who I can't see the name clearly of, he's been, I'd say, Premier League quality. As my days, lads, we even managed to score against Arsenal, and it wasn't this embarrassing, as it could be 6. 6 would be embarrassing, and Charlie Savage, you just had to, didn't you? Diving in at the feet of the players, as this man Penenkas it. Does Pearson actually stay on as coach? I think if this is his coaching, it is criminal, as that's probably our first shot on target, and could be 7 because they've got a corner. Charles Vernam, he's handled it. He's literally just punched the ball. He's literally just punched the ball. Penalty number 2, and this man up front doesn't Penenka it this time, which honestly, I don't know why I expected it again, as that last goal makes it 7-0 Rotherham at Blundell Park. The most embarrassing game ever. As no comment from Pearson, and I'm kind of glad as well, because if he hadn't come out and said something, I'd probably have said something back, and it probably would have needed censoring, as Yanis Birgarawi, I don't know how you say it, but that's the man who's too good for this league. I think so anyway. At only the age of, what was he, 23? We are now 15th in the league. The rivals have jumped above us. Not good, as we've received 2 bids outside the transfer window for Harrison Holgate from Başakşehir and Stoke City. Good bids as well, which we honestly could accept. We have Murphy on loan, who is playing in his position. And as for backup centre-backs, Harvey Rodgers and Cameron McJanet haven't seen much game time, but are 2 backups. So I'm going to take quantity over quality and sell Harrison Holgate. That is 2.5 million. Good for January. As I actually want to arrive there, I did just simulate a game and we lost 2-0 to Charlton. Expected at this point, as we've got to break this streak. We had a good unbeaten run going and we are finally back up there. A 2-0 win over Cambridge. A confidence booster before Notts County, which is another 2-0 win. Washington with both of them, as that's 2 wins back to back if he can just keep his form up for 1 more game. 3 wins from 3. That would be amazing, as there he is, the big man. 4 goals in his last 3. That sounds good to me. A man who must do good in simulations, maybe because of the style in simulations. Maybe doesn't fit counter-attacking. Can't say for certain though, as our first highlight. It's drilled into Washington, who blazes the ball over. Come on, man. I mean, they've got a highlight right here and they're kind of through on goal. I don't know why they've passed it back right there. Just stay strong, lads. We just need to avoid defeat. It's a good little bit of play. And I believe that was going in. I don't know for sure, but it definitely looked like it was going in. The highlight was stopped, though, as that's a counter-attacking chance. Thank you. Don't get many of these, so we've got to try and make sure we take it. Pasalic. Oh, beat into the ball, and that is it done. Oh, my days, but look at this chance. It's going to fall to Hamilton right here. This is the chance for 3 wins from 3. Hamilton, the winger, he has taken over Charles Vernam, and that is rifled top corner. It's a goal, and the first in game from the Man City loanee. And that marks the end of the game. 3 wins from 3, beating a very good team in Blackpool, the Tangerines. Putting us back to where we were before, 3 points from challenging, but still a little bit behind. Definitely improved from the start of today. As please make it 4, please make it 4. Hamilton and David, our lone boys, are playing well. What a result, as look at the goals. Washington scored 13. Oh my days, he's been bagging. Putting us up to 9th. Money sat in our bank account. Oxford next, but into January. As actually being in January reminds me we haven't spoke to our 4th manager, David Moyes, interviewing for the Grimsby job. As I've got to say, David, you're the only one who's dressed up for the occasion, so I thank you for that. But let's talk football. Why do you want a job at Grimsby Town? You are a Premier League manager who's just left West Ham. To which he says, I know, I wanted some time away after my West Ham days and I want to join a club that I can play my football at. And I say, yes, we do like your football. Counter-attacking is our style for now, but what if we want to change? Can you adapt to that? As he says, I will adapt to anything at all. I just want to be at a club that appreciates me as a manager.